Hello and welcome to hobby vlog number 91. It's been quite a tough couple of days for me here. A good friend of mine passed away on Friday, and just now I've come from a wake from one of my neighbours who has been ill for a while, an elderly man, but he also passed away last night. So puts everything into perspective, and it does make the way that I close all my videos quite poignant for me right now. It's been another busy week as well with work. I have managed to get a few things done in terms of actual hobbying, yeah, I've been trying to be a bit more motivated, because I don't think it's just tiredness, I think it's been a lack of motivation as well. So yeah, I've tried to do a little bit more this week, but yeah, this weekend hasn't really rocked or rolled in any way, shape or form. Anyway, I hope that you're all doing well. Life goes on and I'm doing okay, just a bit of a shock. I'll stop rambling now and we'll get to the video. Thank you very much for watching. Just sat down to look at this in a couple of minutes that I've got. Haven't got a break at work, I've just taken the time, and because I'm fed up of working too much. And yeah, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the apps? I don't know, the end bit. So it's going to be very similar to the other ones. We're going to glue the end walls on like that. You can see how that fits in there. And that is going to go on this end of the main building. Now you can see here that I've actually glued the entrance on as well. I've decided to do that but just not put the roof on just yet, because it was really proving to be quite difficult to maintain and control. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue these three sections onto the end here and let that go off, and then I'll put the roof on top of that as well, and then I'll be ready for priming and painting, particularly to get the doorway done that is inside there. So I might even only prime and paint inside this little entrance here. Oh, and the bell, of course, which is why I've not done this tower yet. So I might do those two things: paint inside here, paint the bell and the inside of the tower, finish the assembly, and then come along and do the rest of the painting. But yeah, I'm suddenly unexpectedly nearly finished making it, which is great. So I managed to source some red ribbon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind it around the uprights and then down and across onto the wing, as I've said. And this will probably take a couple of steps, because yeah, I'm probably going to want to attach it first here, let that set and go off. Once that's fully set, then I will wind it and stick it at each level, and then after a couple of winds, and then once it's fully secured around this upright, then I will look at dragging it across over to the wing. So there we are, we'll start doing that winding. What I'll do is I'll wind one side and attach it, and then show what it looks like, and then if I can work out a way of showing how I've done it, I'll do it on the other side. So yeah, but at least we've started. So that was actually quite fiddly, so I'm not going to attempt to film the other bit, but suffice to say I put some blobs of super glue as I was winding up, and then one at the top just where it's about to leave the wood, and then a little bit of super glue, though it is very delicate at this point here, and that's that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the other side, and then this is officially done. Well, thanks to Pooky, my awesome builder who is helping renovate the school that I live in, I now have 2 squares of the mirrors, which is going to work perfectly fine. As you can see, I'm just holding them up using my 90-degree angles, but that works really well. What I'm going to do now, and I'm going to do this probably off camera because it's going to be a bit fiddly again, but I'll talk you through it and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, is I'm going to glue these on using epoxy elastic. So basically it's the stuff that you can use for water effects, but it's also a glue. So I picked that up and that will glue glass to plastic, which is something it's very hard to do. Once those are glued in, I'll clamp that. Won't take very long to go off, but later on what I'll do is I will come along and I'm going to make use of this tissue paper. And as it happens, this is the tissue paper that I got from Prop Fox. So thank you, Tyler. When I opened it, I said I'm going to keep this, and I know it's going to come in useful, and here it does, because I'm going to put that over the top and down the back. and that will allow light still to come in, but it will also constrain the box, and it'll finish it off nicely. What I may then do is put a little bit of paint on the back once that's all dried, just to kind of like feather out the green into a haze, because at the moment it would be a little bit too sudden. And before I do that, I might actually even put another plane in, or some more detail in for you to look at. I'm thinking about a balloon. So first thing though is going to be to use this epoxy to glue on the sides. So I'll get that done, get it clamped, and bring it back when I come to the next step, whether that be balloon or the tissue paper. The mirrors have glued on successfully. So what I've done is I've cut out a strip from the paper, and I'm going to glue this on. So I've cut it so it's already got the fold in it, so that'll be a nice sharp fold. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it on the front here, just in the middle, right dead centre there. Put a little dot there, and a little dot at the back. And then when that's dry, I will be able to fold down the sides, glue those on as well, and then when that's dry, I'll be able to put glue on the back. So that's the tactic I'm going to use. For these initial 2 dots, I'm going to use super glue so that it dries quickly, and then I'll probably use PVA for the rest because it will dry more securely. So yeah, and then I think that'll be the end of it. I've decided against putting more things inside. There's enough stuff on the ground to look at, as well as the 2 planes, so I think it would just complicate it and clutter it a bit. So yeah, I've decided against that. So with this done, it will be done. I said this was done, but actually what I would like to do is paint a little bit of a kind of vanishing point onto the backdrop. So this could destroy the whole build, obviously, I'm well aware of that. But what I've got is just some of the same green paint I used on the base, and I've got a very, very watered down paintbrush with just a little bit of green paint on. What I'm going to try and do, and hopefully this is going to work, I'm going to try and just paint it on the back. Just like that. And you can see there, and that just gives a little bit of a kind of misty distance. And that actually has worked okay, thank goodness. Right, time to take some pictures and submit it. So here we have where this is going to live, at least temporarily, next to the Christmas snow globes, and over here we have the Durin's doorway with the Watcher, which is one of my favourite things, and this is right up there with it, which is why it's put there. So yeah, it looks really good on top of that bookshelf, and Rosie's already seen it and has expressed delight at looking at it, so that is also very valuable to me. So the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe build is coming on. You can see here that we have some reindeer, and I have Edmund, and I have the silver sled, and over on this side we have that is the dwarf, which isn't yet painted, and at the back you can see there is the lamppost and the wardrobe, and in the box we have the witch, we have Lucy, and we have Mr. Tumnus. So there's a little bit more painting to be done, but I am now going to start to actually lay out and prepare the terrain. So we will be having things like, we'll have quite a heavily forested area here around where everything's just set at the moment, around here, and probably coming all the way down here. So it'll be quite heavily forested, and then opening these 2 front corners. So there we are, a little bit of progress, well actually a lot of progress. I've been painting it in my 20 minutes, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting cracking with the next stage. Right then, I was sat there and I just thought, no time like the present. Got a couple of minutes to do a little bit of hobbying. So what I'm going to do is I've mixed up some dark brown grout mix. There is a link in the description below to a video showing you how I go about making this. It works really, really nicely. So what I wanted was to have this built up in layers. So I am going to be putting down this texture which will work for soil, and then I'll put grass over it, and then over the top of that I'll put the snow, because yeah, I want it to actually have the layers, and anywhere where I miss, I don't want it to look odd. So I'm going to cover the entire piece with this grout mixture. And then when that's dried, which actually is quite quick, so probably when I next get time, which probably won't be quick, I'll come along and I'll start to build up the extra layers. I might not have mixed enough. If I haven't, I'll mix some more, but end of the day, it's a very quick application. You can see it goes on very quickly over the top of the entire model, and that will give it the dirt colour that I'm looking for, which is a nice rich colour, good quality soil. It's just winter because of the witch. So what I've done is I've primed the front of this. I primed it all while I was there, and painted the doorway. I used mahogany, which is a lovely rich colour, good for a church door, I think. I've also painted the bell, as you can see, which will be going in the bell tower. So the next steps are going to be put the roof on this, which makes use of this ridge tile, these two end pieces here, and also the roof sections, and works in exactly the same way as the roof did for this, so I won't film that. And I'll also build the actual bell tower, which goes here, which will work in the same way. We've got these sections here, which is for the roof, and another one that looks the same, and that there is the roof of the bell tower. So I'll just stick those all together, prime it, and then when I've finished priming it, and I'll be priming it all grey, I will then bring you along and show you how I'm going to paint it, because that's going to be the interesting thing in painting and weathering. So it's nice to get this progressed. It'll be on the layout very soon, and then I can start to actually do the scenicking around it, which is very, very cool. So I'm starting to plan out the next stage of this, and as you can see, I've kind of put in place a couple of trees. They're just stood in at the moment because these ones actually have feet, which means they can stand up. But I do have a bag of other trees which I'm probably going to mix in as well. I'm going to make this quite a wooded view, so all of these trees won't be here, and they'll be mixed up with these style trees and maybe some other ones as well that I've got also. But anyway, so what I'm trying to work out is how I'm actually going to do the texture underneath. I've got static grass, so I've got some dead static grass, and I've got some autumn static grass as well, both 2mm long. Oh, bonk, both 2mm long, so nice and short. Obviously over the top of that I'm going to be putting this, the snow effects. And where you've got thick forest, I don't think you'd really have much grass, certainly not for a fir or for a pine forest. And what I'm thinking of using, which is awesome and I love it, is this pine forest ground cover from Geek Gaming as well. And this is a Geek Gaming build, as they all seem to go. So what I'm going to do is basically mark up roughly where the edges of the forest are going to be. Have maybe a little bit of grass here and just a little patch of grass here, and the rest of it cover with the pine forest ground cover, and then plant the trees in after that, and that's what I think I'm going to do. So it's going to be largely pine forest ground cover, which is a little bit of an issue because I don't actually have all that much of it, so hopefully I've got enough. And the rest of it I'll do as dead static grass and autumn static grass. So I'll get that mocked up. I'll probably apply the pine forest ground cover first to see how much I've got. That will just be done using scenic paint and scatter. I'll probably bring you along for that when I get to it. And I might indeed glue in place the back of the wardrobe and the lamp post before doing that, I think, because I want them to be bedded in as well. So yeah, a little bit of progress. I'll hopefully get this done now, and I'll bring you along when I come to actually doing the scatter. Pretty happy with that, how that process went, and I've had to reattach a couple. That was done last night and it's now the next morning, so I've had to reattach a couple, so I'll let them go off and then I'll do the static grassing. But I thought I'd just put in place the reindeer and sled, just so you can see just how it's going to fit. And I think it's going to look really, really nice. I'm really looking forward to playing with the snow effects, which is after the static grass going to be next. But yeah, a very nice scattering of trees, really nice wooded effect, and I think it's going to really work to tell the story. In the night, I finished off gluing this together. Funny enough, you really cannot tell that I've painted the bell, so that's probably a bit pointless, but at least I'll know. So the roof's on and the bell tower's done. This was a real pain to put together, this kit, really annoying. But now I'm going to prime it and paint it, which I'll bring you along for, as I've said. I am thinking that I might swap the church and the school over maybe, or just move the village around a little bit, because this would be how it would be arranged, I think, because that's the front of the church. I mean, I could turn it around maybe, but it'd be nice to be able to see this little vestibule area rather than this way. You just really can't unless you're around there, I suppose. I'm not sure anyway, so I'm just considering that. But yeah, so next up we're going to be painting it, and then I'll also look at weathering the school, I think, and then we can start to actually build up this the terrain and the scenicking in this area. Another quick in progress for this. As you can see, I've painted some of the detailing on the wings or cloth details. I've also done that, which is on the top of this, which sits on here, and also the little bit that actually goes underneath the bottom, and I've not glued on because it will just be too unstable. I've also made some progress, I can't remember whether I filmed this or not yet, but I've made some progress on the actual pterodactyl, which will be attacking in the diorama. Thanks to my mate Steve for the idea on the purple and dark red, and I think it looks really nice. So you can see I've done that on these. Let's put the last one up just for completeness, and I've also put a little bit of colour on the actual riders, but that's what's going to be next. So yeah, so good progress there. Doing it in my 20 minutes. This week has been particularly difficult, and so I've actually missed a couple of nights for various reasons, but still pushing on, and very happy to be getting this progressing particularly. Also, I've got a load of stuff which it can potentially be like on top of the as cargo on the boat. So a load of different bits of scatter terrain that I've just printed out and I'm painting up as well for that. So yeah, there's been quite good progress actually on this, and I'll finish off painting that, and then it'll be time to start the actual diorama. I had a delivery from Element Games, which I've been waiting for quite a long time because they were waiting for stock. Couple of bit iffy in places, but most of it's good. So what I ordered was bulg, Castellan of Dol, need him for my warbats, and I've been wanting to have him for a long time. Another one that I've been looking for a long time and just finally pulled the trigger is the Birder, the Hill Troll Chieftain, which is awesome. And then the other miniature that I ordered is, miniature, the Great Beast of Gorgoroth, which, yeah, I'm actually quite excited about. I've wanted that for a long time and held off, but those will all now go into the great big mountain of opportunity because, yeah, I haven't got time at the moment. The thing that was a bit of a disappointment was these brushes. So I ordered a couple of Artis Opus O series brushes. They came loose in the box, as you see them. One of them did have the plastic sheath, but the other one didn't at all, and it's split and not usable. So I'm going to give them credit. I contacted and I've got a replacement on the way, so hopefully they'll arrive safely. And the other thing that arrived was I ordered the D series, which is the dry brush from Artis Opus. I had a lot of people telling me how good these are, so I ordered a box of those, and I'll be giving those a try as well. So yeah, that was nice to receive. It's been a couple of months, just because they've been waiting for these to come in stock, funnily enough, I think. And yeah, a couple of cool miniatures and some dry brushes that I'll be trying out, and I'll surely let you know how I find them when I've got a bit of experience with them. So there you are, that's the week. Very, very nearly bailed on this vlog, which would have been unfortunate, being the 91st unbroken week, but yeah, I'm glad that I've kind of spent a bit of time, just done it slowly, not pressurised myself, but got it finished. So I really hope that you've enjoyed watching the stuff that's gone on this week and what I've managed to achieve. Really appreciate all the comments. Don't forget to leave one below. I reply to all of them and they really do motivate me. I can't say it enough. Viewer numbers doesn't really matter to me. I don't really mark it, I don't really push it, but the fact that so many of you leave such wonderful comments means the world to me. So thank you so much, and don't be shy. Do say something nice in the comments below, or not nice, whatever. I reply to them all. So thanks for watching, and as always, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.